Maddie, a very solid performance today, a quick first set and then a bit of a tight second set. Just talk us through your thoughts on the match, please.
I think I obviously started very, very well, and I think she came out a little bit nervous and not playing her best, and then I think she really raised her level in the second set, and I had to kind of take a step back and refocus and try to regroup a little bit, and just overall super proud of myself for being able to kind of fight off some of those set points and get it done in two.
Okay, would like first question?
You play at a very fast pace, meaning from point to point. You barely ever use the 25 seconds. Has it ever occurred that you got a warning for a time violation, or would that be a first for you? And is that by design, to not give your opponent enough time to prepare?
I've just always played really fast, and that's just kind of how I go, and I just kind of move at my own pace, and I don't think I've ever gotten a warning. I would probably melt if I did, because it would be very strange. But it's just my natural pace of playing, and I've always been fast in between points.
Next question. Just go behind you. Yeah.
Thank you. Hi, Madison. Looking at your results in recent weeks, I mean, they've been really impressive. I just wondered, can you feel when good results like this are coming, when you've come into this season? I know clay hasn't necessarily always been your favourite surface, but could you feel that something good was going to happen this year?
No. Kind of took me by surprise. Going into Madrid, I think I had lost like first round 5 years in a row. So getting that first win was kind of, it felt really big for me. And then from then, I just kind of have tried to carry over all of that momentum, but it was definitely I was not expecting it.
And based on how it has gone, how do you feel now with this tournament? I mean, do your goals increase in some way? I think
I'd be lying if I said that the goal every single slam isn't to come in and try to win it. I've obviously been competitive in slams before, and I've gotten to that, that final, those final rounds, and that's always the goal. And I think the years that I've been able to go really far and do well in slams, I'm really not focusing on that. I'm trying to just really focus on the match ahead of me and continue to just focus on what's gotten me into that position so far. So in some ways, yes, that's kind of always the goal, but in a lot of ways, I think the bigger goal is to continue to do all of the really great work round by round.
Okay, Charlie?
Hi, Madison. Can I ask, Badosa and Sabalenka are playing each other on the weekend, and they're like super close. Just wonder, what's that like, playing a really close friend? Obviously, it's something you've done a few times. Like, is it awkward? Is it uncomfortable? How does that dynamic kind of play out?
I think it depends a little bit on just who the people are. I feel like for myself, I typically, it's always a little bit awkward and you never really want to play your friend. But at the end of the day, we've been doing it for so long that when you walk on the court, you want to win the match. And when you walk off of the court and you're back in the locker room, that you'll be friends still and go back to normal. So I think for me, it's just maybe the come-ons aren't as loud or as many, but at the end of the day, I think it's another tennis match. How quickly does that kind of snap back to just, okay, we're off, we're friends again, not competitors? I think it depends, probably, but I think for the most part, it's pretty quick. It's, like I said, we've been doing it for so long, and when you're on the court, you're obviously incredibly competitive, and whether you come off the court winning or losing, I think you can obviously be disappointed or happy and all of that, but at the end of the day, a friendship is a friendship.
Hi, Madison. I want to ask about two completely unrelated things, but the first is just with this weather and what it's been like the past few days. Is there, obviously, you're happy to win anytime you win, but is there also an additional sort of sense of relief of like, okay, that's behind me, no more waiting around, no more wondering when I'm going to play and all of that? And what is maybe the toughest part of the waiting around and not knowing when you'll play and all of that when there is this weather?
I think for me, the first round, the schedule changed and the practice courts weren't ready yet, so we only got to warm up for 15 minutes, and then I basically ran from the practice court to get ready. So it just added an extra layer of stress and chaos a little bit. And then being able to get out there and finish a match, you kind of take it's like, I'm glad that we actually got to finish. And then today, I think I really lucked out and was able to have the roof. So as soon as I saw the schedule, I knew right away that it wasn't going to be anything that I was going to have to worry about today. I knew I was going to get on when I was going to get on and wasn't going to have to deal with any delays.
Just wondering, as someone whose partner in life knows about tennis, played, competed himself, are there advantages to that, maybe disadvantages, I don't know, to being with somebody who's been in this world? And how much, if at all, do you talk about tennis, that you'll ask him for advice, or he'll say, hey, did you ever think about trying this, or any of that conversation happen?
I think it's been only advantages. I think him having been obviously in the same competitive world at the same time, he really gets it and understands every aspect of it. And I think one of the biggest things is, especially with coaching now, he knows kind of what you're looking for as a player when you look up at your coach, which is always great. And I think he kind of knows how to communicate to me, so he knows how to say things and how to word them so that they really land and they make sense. So it's been only an advantage.
Okay, we'll do a few more, Bill, and then, yeah.
Congrats. I wanted to ask a very general question. You've been in the game so long, since you were a young girl, and we all know that tennis is so demanding, and it teaches so many lessons on so many fronts. If you had to step back and say what this sport has really taught you, I don't know, the one or two things that the sport has taught you as a person, what would that be?
I think that when you start playing at such a young age, it's hard not to get wrapped up into the number next to your name meaning everything about you. And I think as I've gotten older and as I've gone to therapy, it's been a really learning experience for me that tennis is an amazing part of who I am, but it's not who I am. And I think when you figure that out and you're able to continue to play and just enjoy yourself and not get too wrapped up in tennis being your one and only identity, it makes everything so much better. And the wins are better, the losses are easier. You just figure out that tennis is amazing and it's brought so much into your life, but you are allowed to have other things and be different versions of yourself. And I think it makes you really kind of step back and appreciate the moments that you have on the tennis courts. And, especially when we get to play in these amazing stadiums in front of crowds, you just really get to kind of fully appreciate it.
One more, and then we'll go there, yeah.
Having said that, and on a different topic, you said you were surprised in Madrid, but what do you think has been behind your successes? Such a good season.
I have an amazing support group with Bjorn and my PT Kayla and my fitness trainer Lang, and they've been just amazing. And it was obviously really tough to miss the beginning of the year, and I kind of felt like I was trying to catch up with everyone and putting a little bit more stress on myself, but being able to just be really vulnerable and open with my support team and being able to just kind of lay it all out there and how I was feeling. They've been able to really help me through some tough times and really just help get my mind right and be the support that I need them to be. And it's, it's amazing where there's been some, really tough matches, and being able to look over every point and they're absolutely backing you. It just gives you that extra push and just like kind of sense of relief.
Okay, last one here.
Taylor said yesterday, I think he played on court 9, that the balls outside wouldn't bounce at all because it was so wet. Now you've played outside, you've played inside. I suppose you like it more to play inside, but what is the main difference? Do the balls really bounce that much higher inside?
I think it's probably more to do when the courts are getting wet. So the last 2 matches, I haven't played in the rain or anything. Obviously, when it's raining, the balls are getting wet from the rain, but also every time they hit the ground, they're kind of soaking up some of the moisture. So it's definitely, balls start getting heavier and heavier. So they're not going to bounce as much, but I think you kind of know that's happening and you expect it. So I think you kind of just take the moment to make the adjustments that you need to.